Welcome back to another Share Your Light episode. Today, I am so excited to share with you two incredible people who have started a healing center. And I know a lot of our listeners, and you know the premise of these Share Your Light, it's to showcase people in our community of listeners who are working to make a difference, to step more fully into their power and light, and to really emulate what it means to be an empath, a healer, a medium, a reader, whatever that might be. It's for the better of all of us. And these two ladies exemplify that beautifully. So today I'm very blessed and lucky to welcome Lisa and Lori. Lisa has a traditional background of being the vice president of Ontario Medical Group Managers Association and is a member of the Canadian Reiki Association. She's the owner of LD Visionary Ventures, where she creates crystal grids and is a self-published author. Lisa is also a Reiki master, quantum energy healer, does chakra balancing, medical intuition, and is a medium. She clears energies and also does house clearings and helps cross earthbounds over. She and Lori are proud owners of Inner Vision Healing and Wellness Center, featuring the harmonic egg. She's the mother of 3 amazing intuitive children and the nana to 4 beautiful grandchildren. Lori, who is Lisa's business partner, she's the mother of 2 amazing young adults and a fur baby, has worked in education and special education with hearing impaired students for 20 years. Her directive is to help and heal and teach others to raise their own vibration and assist them in their ascension. Her background includes in this world, she's a Reiki master, a quantum energy practitioner, quantum touch practitioner, medical intuitive, yoga teacher for children and adults, a medium to higher dimensional beings. Again, the co-owner of the Harmonic Egg, which is a light and sound therapy chamber. We'll talk about that more in a few minutes. She does ghost busting work to help cross earthbound spirits into the light, does do house clearings, and considers herself very clairvoyant, clairaudient, and claircognizant. So welcome both of you. It's such a pleasure to have you here. And with those bios, it's amazing. And there's no doubt why you started this center, because you can tell from your rich background, plus your professional backgrounds, that you're ready. You're ready to step into this and really offer. So how did you two connect to even start this vision?
Thanks, Denise. That was awesome. It's wild when you hear all that stuff. It's like, oh, is that me she's talking about? Is that Lisa? This is Lori talking. Lisa and I met at a mediumship class that we used to meet every Wednesday night, and we just connected. It was just an instant connection, like we were supposed to be together. I got this directive that we need to assemble like a team of people, and I guess for the last 4 or 5 years, we've been kind of assembling that team. And when I mean team of healers, psychics, mediums, intuitives, just to help with our mission of helping everybody help themselves, be able to go inward and figure out that they can really do it themselves. We're just here to guide them and just help them with their ascension and their health, basically.
So another aspect of all of this is that you've both had significant health issues that you've overcome. And could you talk about that a little bit, please?
So I think that it's important to recognize that everybody has health challenges at some point in their life. And Lori and I don't like to focus on that too much, but I think it is important to recognize, especially when you're dealing with energy and healing and the chakras, that if you don't start to recognize the signs when maybe I'll use myself as an example, my heart chakra was blocked because maybe I didn't process something and I ended up getting a pulmonary embolism, or I ended up going into cardiac arrest because, these little nudges didn't wake me up enough. And after that was, I started to really pay attention to my body and what was happening. And in addition to that, myself and Lori both were diagnosed with cancer. And although we are fine and we got through it no problem, and for myself, I did not need chemo or radiation or anything like that, it was important to recognize that impact of hearing those words when a doctor tells you that you have cancer. And I just want people to understand that we've heard that and we understand the seriousness that goes with it, but it doesn't mean that you should just give up and not try and do something, because everything is energy. I can't speak for you, Lori, but
Yeah, I just know that dis-ease in your energy field, and I don't mean disease, I mean dis-ease. Fluctuations occur in your energy field prior to being presented in your physical body. So if we're doing like a Reiki session on you or an energy session on you, and we detect that there's a blockage in your, let's say, your heart chakra from excessive grief or sorrow or something that's happened in your life, it's always good to get that cleared out and release all that emotion. So it allows the energy coming from the universe to travel through you and clear it up. Like otherwise it reroutes and then it becomes blocked, and then you get a pathology if it's been there for a lot of years. Myself, I had thyroid cancer when I was 24 years old. And I know it was because I kept so much in. I didn't speak my truth. And over the years, I learned that speaking your truth keeps your throat chakra just open and balanced and being true to yourself. So now I'm very aware of that. That's so funny.
she got this thumbs up from Spirit just now.
Yeah. We're doing this with a video, and out of the blue, the little thumbs up, if you're doing a Zoom call, it just popped up magically. They didn't touch anything. It just kind of like boop. So I guess that was good validation that you're on the right track.
Yeah. And I've been told that's my mother.
Yeah.
In spirit.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
Very
that is. Well, thank you, Mom.
And also, I think that our guides and Spirit and whoever it is you believe in, sometimes can give us a nudge and let you know that something is there. If I can just tell you real quickly, what happened with me is I got out of the shower one day and I just happened to look down on my leg and I saw this tiny, just a small little mole, didn't look weird or anything like that. And my guide said, that's got to go. And luckily, because I work in a medical center, I said something and they weren't too worried and they had it removed and it tested, it was melanoma. Sometimes we get these weird little thoughts that come out of nowhere. And it's just a good reminder to pay attention to it.
Yeah. And you hit a really good point a minute ago of it gives you a level of empathy, compassion, and understanding because you've heard the words, you've had the experience. And it makes perfect sense why you were guided to offer all of these incredible healing modalities that will supplement whatever anyone is going through or help them really go within and find their truth to release if there's a dis-ease or if there's a blockage or if there is old trauma that needs to be released. So it's incredible. And it also is wonderful that you haven't let it define you moving forward. It was an experience along the way. It gave you that base of knowledge and experience, but it didn't leave you. You didn't stay stuck in it in a fear-based place of, I can't live, I can't move forward because this happened to me. And I think that's really, really important for folks that, especially if you've been through some horrific things, realize you're still here and there's a reason for that. Keep going. We need you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's part of the journey, and it's the lesson.
It's a lesson
from experience, and we take that lesson, and now we're helping others recognize their lessons in their lives.
I love that. Thank you. That's incredible. Yeah. And what I love about both of you is you have this balance. You both are bringing unique skill sets into the equation, and that seems to be hugely important in any kind of business, but especially if you're going to be in a partnership and there's a spiritually based component to it. So maybe, and I know, Lisa, this is more your forte, what's actually involved in starting a center? Because you shared with me once that this has been a dream of yours your entire life, is to have this wellness space. The reality is I talk to a lot of folks and they say, oh, I would just love to offer this space for people. But what would be some of the logistics that got you here?
Okay, let's see. I think a lot of it is divine timing. And I think taking that first leap of faith. I think that Lori and I probably would have kept putting this off and putting it off. But then we finally just decided, you know what, now's the time to jump in with both feet, and the world really needs this. So for us, I think it just started with a plan, and then we didn't really know what to do next. So we started just looking for a space. And I think that we were really divinely guided. I feel like things just kind of fell into place for us, you know, and then we knew we had to go to the bank and start a business and contact, you know, get our business registered and things like that. So I think as you just take the first step, things start to unfold naturally for you, or you speak to the right people, or you go to the bank and the bank says, oh, have you done this yet? So I think in that regard, it became easier for us because we just took one step at a time and things just fell into place.
And it's almost about trusting too.
Yeah.
I'm never having any sort of apprehension or worry. It's just about trust. I look at her, she'd look at me, and we go, are you worried about this? No, we're not worried about this. It all unfolded the way it was supposed to.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. And I have the privilege of knowing some of the backstory to this, and even the space that showed up, the timing, the finance. I mean, it all was just this beautiful, beautiful domino effect of once you took that step to say, we're doing this, Spirit lined up those dominoes and it all started to fall into place. Another thing that I really, really enjoy about your work is you're doing things a little differently. Like you didn't just say, I think we're going to do this. You really researched it. You looked into it. You thought about it. And probably the centerpiece of your business right now is the harmonic egg. So could one of you share about because a lot of people have no idea what we're talking about. I didn't until I met the two of you.
Yeah, sure. So, well, I'm going to tell you how it started. I watched an episode of Gaia. The host on Gaia interviewed Gail Lynn, she's an engineer, but she's also an intuitive, and she is the creator of the harmonic egg. And as Gail was talking, I'm going, wow, that sounds amazing. Like it's frequency, it's light, sound, energy, and it's all energetic waves. So I thought, okay, I looked it up online. There's one in Niagara Falls. I phoned Lisa. Do you want to come down for a visit? We can check this harmonic egg out. Sure, because it's a light sound therapy chamber. It releases trauma in the quantum field just by the use of the frequency of the music, the frequency of the light and the colors within the sacred geometry of the egg. It's a dodecahedron, the egg design. It's made of wood, so it doesn't hold anybody else's energy. And everybody's experience is different. It's almost like the egg has its own energy. Actually, it does. It has its own energy field. Yeah. It has one on the inside, and it has an energy field that, I know you guys do it in miles, we do it in kilometers, 2.5 kilometers in a radius. You can feel if you're really intuitive, you can feel where the egg centers are as they grow, and they've been used the energy. It's just so vibratory. We've had people come into this center who are very, very empathic. And as soon as they start coming in, they're vibrating. Yeah. So it's quite powerful.
Because both of you are very, very empathic and sensitive, highly, highly intuitive, very, very good at what you do. There's a disclaimer. Do you feel a shift in your own energy if someone else is in the egg? Like if the egg is going, does it change your frequency if you're in proximity to it? Or is it contained in the egg?
I think everyone has their own individual experience. And although I think that the energy in the center is enhanced, I don't think it necessarily changes our energy field, right? I mean, there has to be a level of protection for us as well, for those coming in, especially because clients who use the eggs, if they have an attachment to them, the attachment can't survive in the egg because the vibration is so high. So usually after 15 minutes or so, the attachment will try and prompt the client to get out of the egg. But if they can push through it past that 15-20 minute mark, the entity will go. The attachment will leave because it's just too high for it to be contained. And with Lori and I in the center, I think that we're able to get rid of anything that might be hanging around. Not that they usually do.
No, I've never detected one in here yet. And if you put the white light in the egg after somebody's used it, it automatically cleanses.
Yeah.
And we cleanse it with a singing bowl and sage. And we ourselves actually put white light into the rooms, every room of the center.
I think this is really interesting because, I do believe everything is energy and vibration. So it would depend on the individual, what their issue, because it might not be trauma or an attachment. What else could I go in the egg for?
Oh, absolutely
Anything. Anything.
Anxiety, Parkinson's, ALS, any autoimmune disease.
Autism.
Yeah.
Allergies. I mean, these are all A's, but I mean, anything. Cancer.
Yeah.
So it's not a medical model, and I'm sure that you're both very clear on, you're not providing medical treatment, you're not
Right.
providing something to discount traditional treatments. So we have to make that really clear, because I think that that's a fine line ethically to bring that through. But I believe that, there's so much research to support the mind-body connection, the energetic connection with disease or trauma or the impact. Just having all those variances of, it might be the sound therapy that works for someone, it might be the light therapy that someone else, it might be the music. The other cool part is you don't have to physically be in the egg, right?
Nope, you don't.
No, you can send us your picture with your name and birth date, and we can put you on the chair in the egg, select your program for you, and we give you a call. So I want to take a picture of your photo in the egg. I send a picture to you, and just so you can get the idea of the lights in the chamber. And then if you wish, I can let you hear the music. I put my phone by the egg, and they can hear the music, and I ask them to relax. And it's a 50-minute procedure, like 40 minutes with the music on, 10 minutes of integration with no music on.
With just the lights.
Yeah, with just the lights on.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're relaxing, and I come on 50 minutes after the session, and I just say, how was it? Did you feel anything? And I've had amazing results. Yeah, like I've done people in California. There's a few people that I've done distance in California, and just in Toronto who can't get here, people who
in Arizona too.
Yeah, in Arizona.
Yeah. And I think it's important to remember that whether you're here in person or you are doing a distance session, we always do the same protocol. It's a different protocol for everyone, but we follow the same regimen, and we set intention. So it's important for the client to be, participating with setting their intention of what they're hoping to achieve. And, not a lot of the centers don't actually let you hear the music because it's not necessary, or they feel it's not necessary. But Lori and I like to do it a little bit different, where we feel it's a little bit more interactive for people who can't be here. If we have the music playing in the background, they can listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one more egg question before we move on. Do people have any claustrophobic issues? Like if they're in the egg, does it feel too close for some folks, or?
Yeah, I can answer that one. I've had 3 people that have said, "Oh, I'm really claustrophobic. Is this okay? Like, I don't know if I can be in here." So I said, "Okay, I'll shut the door." And they go, "Okay, no, I need it open." So I can crack it open a little bit. I can even leave it full open. You can even sit beside the egg and get the whole treatment. It doesn't matter. But it's really cool inside the egg, because there is this wonderful anti-gravity chair that's totally padded. You can be reclined. Your feet are elevated, and it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like a spaceship. It's a really neat visceral experience, all around.
So a lot of people that are listening have experienced distant Reiki. They've experienced distance energy work. They've worked with maybe someone who does shamanic practices from distance. So it's the same premise, that you're still getting the same energy as if you were in person. But this is just like one aspect of your business, which a lot of people have healing centers, but you've done some really cool stuff. So we have the harmonic egg, and then there's also, what else do you offer in your facility?
So we also have a massage bed that's called the Saragen Thermal Massage. And what that is, it's programmable jade rollers that heat up. And so basically we just set the protocol, and the protocols can be relaxation, shiatsu, acupressure, or even just infrared. and you just lay on this bed and the bed does the treatment for you. And we've had really great responses to the massage bed. People are just like, I'm going to get one of these. I love it. It's just so great. We also offer restorative yoga that Lori teaches. And we also do meditation and workshops in one of our yoga rooms. And we have an energy healing room where we do the quantum healing and Reiki. And we have created a custom made bamboo room, which is made from real bamboo on the walls and the ceiling. The idea in there is you just relax on this chaise lounge with headphones and you listen to either the music that we play for the harmonic egg, or we can play even calypso music if you want to have an island theme and just escape the winter blahs. And we also have a detox room where we do the hand and foot detox with the Himalayan salt.
Wow. So do people generally, it's so beautifully thought out. You've planned this beautifully. Do you suggest people come in for one treatment per time? Do people come in for multiple at the same time? Because that's a lot. You could come out of there like a puddle.
Yeah, usually it's one session. Usually we like to, especially when they're using the harmonic egg, it's not recommended that you do any other energy work within that week. 5 to 7 days. Yeah, 5 to 7 days.
So if they came in for the egg, they could just come in for the egg, and they could, sit on one of the couches here and wait for their partner or their friend that they're with that's getting another service.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people love, myself included, love to be able to go in and do something by myself, like get in the egg by myself or lay on the thing. It's the empath thing. It's the hermit thing. I think a lot of us have been kind of reconditioned for that over the last few years. But you also each offer individual services as well. So if I trekked over the border and I showed up at your center, I could experience all these incredible offerings, but then what do each of you offer individually? So if I came to the center, how could I work with each of you as individuals?
I tend to do a lot of energy sessions, which you're on a massage bed, and I started out as Reiki and kind of morphed into my own kind of energy sessions. I channel the spirits and the higher beings who assist in the healings. They don't assist in the healings, they do the healings. I'm the conduit.
Exactly.
That question you asked us earlier about, has this affected the way we do things here or our energy at all? And I think it has affected mine, because I think I was telling you the other day, Denise, when I was doing the last Reiki session or healing session on somebody, Spirit actually showed me myself about 2 minutes in the future. Yeah. So I could follow them and do what I was supposed to do with. They showed me these crystals and I had them on the table. So I picked them up. I'm watching myself and I'm going, okay, I guess this is good. And I started just following what I was seeing myself do 2 minutes prior, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
That is so cool, because it my big premise, get the hell out of the way. Yeah. Let it come through you, not from you. And you both beautifully, beautifully bring that through in all of your work. And Lisa, I know that you're a really good medium. So is that something that you would offer in your sessions?
I do offer mediumship readings. I have a passion for finding missing people. I haven't really jumped into that fully yet, but that is a passion of mine that I hope to get into in the future. I also do the healing. Lori and I have done healings together and independently. We both do the medical intuition, which is, again, it's really just spirit coming through and telling us what is really going on. And in fact, that's kind of how I started with chakra work and medical intuition, although at the time I didn't realize that's what I was doing. I just kind of was able to pinpoint where ailments were, where they couldn't find out from a typical, family practitioner. So I was lucky in that sense to jump into that without even realizing that that's what I was doing.
We've done it together quite often. Like we have another practitioner. She's a biomag practitioner, and she sends a lot of her clients here because she says she cannot work on them until Lori and Lisa clear them. So we have to tune into their energy, and we get them on the phone, and we do a whole healing session.
And usually it's an attachment or something.
Yes.
And that's something that Lori and I started out doing after after we stopped going to our Wednesday evening groups about 3 or 4 years ago, we started doing house clearings, and then we would clear the owners as well. And that was a really amazing, fun, kind of crazy adventure for us to do. But unfortunately, we still have clients, but we try and bring them here now and put them in the egg for that.
Well, and I think that this is, so people are listening to all of the different things that you offer, your level of experience and expertise. But another aspect of this is you've been on this path for a long time. You've been learning, growing, evolving, fine-tuning your skill set. And I think that's important for people that are listening, that you never tap out with this. I say that a lot, but you build this foundational knowledge. So anyone that comes into your center, you may be able to pick and choose from some of these things and say, oh, this aligns most with you, or this aligns most with you. And the fact that you have that like-minded interest with what I call the scary woo-woo stuff, that was your foundation, because that's necessary, but it also allows you to expand what you're doing with so many different types of folks. So where can people find you? Because it's such a plethora of offerings, but it's also, as you said so beautifully, it's such a needed thing right now for everybody, not just if you're in the Toronto area or if you want to do a distance healing. This is something that we all need to come together globally. And I think that's something you're offering, that it doesn't matter where you are on the planet. These ladies can help you work through a session.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
How can we find you?
So we're actually physically located in Port Perry, Ontario, just steps from the lake. So it's actually a beautiful location. You can reach us at, I'll give you our website information. It's www.harmoniceggportperry.ca. That's our website. And our phone number is 416-704-7543.
Right. And if someone wanted to book an individual session with either of you, would they be able to do that through the center or through your own personal information? Would it be best to contact you through the center?
I think that's what's best right now, because that's where we're kind of combining our schedules.
Okay. Yes. And I think that the other important thing too, this is the foot in both worlds. Both Lori and Lisa are still employed. They're still working. They're building into this. And it's this beautiful transition. So I think so many people say, I really want that, but they're exemplifying, I have to use that word again, that you can start and just build this and allow it to unfold, rather than waiting until it's too late and then saying, wow, I wonder what would have happened if I'd given that a shot.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's kind of happened in my case anyway. I am a manager of medical clinics. So I've been doing that for over 20 years now. And I think what happens is you start to get more and more uncomfortable in your day job and feeling like there's something more you need to be doing, or maybe it just doesn't resonate in the same way as it used to, but we all have bills to pay. So I totally understand. And, that's where Lori and I are right now, is we're hoping to make the transition to part-time. And, a word of advice would be to just, if you have a dream, go for it and start with writing it down. Write down the plan, write down what it is you want to do, and then have faith. Oh, I have goosebumps. Have faith that Spirit's going to jump in and they're going to help you make it happen.
Yeah. And one of the really cool things that's been happening, it's like my husband always says to me, if you build it, they will come. And we started getting flooded with calls. He goes, well, you built it. Because I was getting a little anxious. I'm going, oh my goodness, we have all these people coming. So it's interesting how many different practitioners have contacted us to want to come and be a part of this and work here. And that's fabulous, because we're opening up more modalities and more services for the clients that want to come here and help get on their healing journey.
Do you project offering classes or courses, because I know you have a group space as well? Is that something in your future vision?
Yes, we do.
Good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What type of classes?
Well, we teach Reiki as well.
Restorative yoga with energy healing in it, and Reiki healing. Like, for example, we're doing the heart chakra poses one night, we'll get some Reiki practitioners in here, Lisa and I, myself, and we know a couple other ones. They can all go around to the clients and administer Reiki. It's quite powerful. And the energy in the room just keeps going up and up and up and up. And everybody has a really cool experience.
Mm-hmm.
With everything, and this is going to sound kind of wingnut, but not really. With everything that you're offering, it almost feels like this could be a destination weekend for people. Like they could stay in a nearby hotel or B&B or something and just have this inclusive experience in your center. So is that something that's available in Port Perry, that there are accommodations available, or would there be a commute nearby? Or
I think that, we're not that far from Toronto. We're probably 45 minutes from Toronto. If people wanted to piggyback that onto, staying in Toronto. But there are beautiful little places in Port Perry and surrounding areas that we could actually look into for people traveling and have that information available. Unfortunately, we don't have that available right now. But we've had people come here and they've said this would be a great bachelorette day, where we each do something different. Or, people who are really in tune and they're already awakened, it's probably easier for them to do multiple sessions in a day or in a weekend, but maybe not back-to-back harmonic egg sessions, like 4 in a row.
And I love Toronto. I love the city, the people. It's a beautiful, beautiful. So now that the borders are open again, if you do have the opportunity to go, it's a very welcoming city and the people are fantastic. So you might want to keep that on your list of bucket list things to do. So thank you both so very much. And again, you can contact, if you could say the website again.
www.harmoniceggportperry.ca.
Lisa and Lori have been really generous, and they would like to offer any of you, if you mention that you heard this on Enlightened Empaths, they'll give you a
25% off.
Wow.
At the harmonic. So whether it's in person or distant session. And for people who are local and they want to come in, 25% off for sure.
That is so incredibly generous. So for the harmonic egg sessions, whether it's virtually or in person, if you mention Enlightened Empaths, that you heard both these wonderful people on this episode, they'll give you 25% off a session. Thank you so very much. That's incredibly generous and kind.
Thanks, Denise.
Oh, thanks, Denise.
Oh, you're welcome. We appreciate you listening. And remember, just follow your heart. Follow what you're being prompted from spirit to do, and things will unfold. They will put out those Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs for you. Thank you both so much for doing this with me. I appreciate you both greatly.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thanks, Denise.
Okay. Take care.